Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. Nearly 2:30 in the morning here in the UK, but I decided to make a late video as I often do. But anyway, I hope you're well wherever you are, and I'll try not to make this one too long, as I sometimes do waffle. But yeah, this is the dreams of a madman like myself for AS Roma in Italy. As a fan of Italian football generally, I know I have this mad thing where I support all the Italian teams. But anyway, so here are some of my goals and dreams, and obviously this is part 2, continuing on from the first part where it covered 10 ideas. I hope to cover obviously 10 more from point number 11 to number 20. So here goes. So number 11, I would love to see what Roma can change, what Roma needs to change, like what Roma can learn from. I think I covered this in part 1. But what Roma can learn from teams like Real Madrid, which are in the Champions League final, or Liverpool, which are also in the Champions League final, and other clubs like that. The jury's still out on Jose Mourinho as the manager, because I hope he does well, and I hope he proves any critics or doubters. I'm kind of one of them, although he has got to the final of the Conference League, or it's called now. Which is a great achievement. I hope he can finally win something. And he did do well with Inter. Funny enough, at the same time, when Italian football's like not doing well, it's on his knees, so to speak, or as it kind of is at the moment, he came and helped Inter Milan win a trophy for the first time in a long time. So the only problem is I do fear that he's a bit short term, which I hope to talk, and I hope to cover another video about some of the things I think are negative, or as well as the positives about Mourinho. And I was thinking about that and covering the more positive ones after the more negative ones, because I like to save the best or save the positives excuse me, till last. But yeah, so I hope to look at what Roma can change to improve itself. Number 12, I also hope, though, at the same time, to look at what Roma should continue to do, what it's doing right, and how it can continue to do those sorts of things, like the projects it does for helping migrants, or helping more migrants to get into to football in Italy. I think it does well with those, and or has done well with that sort of stuff, and hopefully it continues to do so. And maybe the club can come out and condemn any sort of prejudice or racism, and like include migrants in the team. Or in academies, so hopefully develop them in the future. And as it has got to the final of the European competition, which is the only Italian team to do so this year, and for the last few years we haven't had. I'll say we as a fan, Italian football haven't had many teams in the final. So on that note, they are doing some good stuff, and I think the owner. Dan Friedkin, I think his name is Dan Friedkin or Friedkin, who is apparently from Hollywood. He's a Hollywood director or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Not read a huge amount about it. I don't really read much, but I did see something about it. I think he's got some sort of connection to Hollywood, and he's got connections to DiCaprio, Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, and someone else who I think it's Scorsese or someone like that. Scorsese, the director, who have probably got Italian roots as well. But anyway, I think he has got Italian roots or something. I'm not 100% sure. I think he has, but as some of the Italian Americans who are maybe encouraging more Italian Americans to invest in the Italian football team generally would be great. But yeah, I was thinking, I wonder if he could use those connections in Hollywood to encourage people like DiCaprio or Scorsese or others to invest in Roma as well. And I'd love for Disney. I think Disney do have some sort of deal with Roma, but I'm not 100% sure. I know their reputation is a little bit damaged at the moment, or pretty damaged to say the least. But maybe there's something they could do to revive their reputation. I think it'd be cool if they invested in football academies and toys and games to encourage sort of work with the club to get more young people from Rome or young Roma fans to engage with the club, like through cartoons and making the games and toys and figurines and things like that into the heroes, as well as investing in academies and things like that. So I think those sorts of partnerships with Disney and companies like that would be great, especially for younger people to get into football and to practice more and to get into exercise and that sort of thing. Number 13, I think it'd be great for the Vatican itself, perhaps, and Catholic churches and organizations to invest in Roma. As I'm a bit biased, I love Italian football, but I think it'd be great to see them invest in Roma, because it's like Rome, and obviously the Vatican or whatever has a connection to Rome, I suppose. And also, I suppose I'm a bit biased. I just want to see as much investment into Italian football as possible. I'm not a Catholic myself, but it would be great to see them invest. And obviously, I'm a bit biased, as I say, but in part one, I talked a bit. I think I might have touched on like how there could be like the No Pope of Rome Cup, which would be between Roma and Celtic, because our arch rivals, Celtic's arch rivals. Obviously, Celtic is another team I love, as you probably noticed by now. Sort of say No Pope of Rome or something like that, and slag off Catholics. So I think it'd be great to see Roma and Celtic have some sort of partnership, which would be like a little bit of a joke to have like the No Pope of Rome Cup or tournaments or things like that, which would sort of take the mick out of that kind of rivalry between Celtic and Rangers, so that they use that sort of rivalry to between Celtic and Rangers to sort of have a connection between Celtic and Roma. I hope that made sense, but it's because like the Rangers say like No Pope Rome or something like that, and obviously Roma being from Rome. So I hope that made that dyslexic sort of imagination made sense. If you can work that out, you might just be dyslexic or drunk. I'm not sure, but anyway. Moving on, number 14. I would also love talking about like Real Madrid. They are co-owned by, I think they're owned by, or at least partially owned, as I say, by the government, by the Spanish government and stroke or royal family. So I think it'd be great if Roma as the capital, talking about what they could learn from Real Madrid as the capital of Italy. I think it'd be great if Roma was co-owned by local Italian politicians and maybe even the government of Italy. Obviously, Italy doesn't have a royal family, but as well as being co-owned by the Vatican and Catholic religious groups or organisations. As I say, I'm not Catholic myself, but it would be great to see them invest in, as I say, I'm a bit biased in terms of wanting Italian teams to do well. I think it'd be great. Any sort of money that comes in, I would love to see it being invested. And I'd love to see as many co-owners and shareholders, multiple party shareholders, even entire nations, perhaps, maybe even Italy, or the Italian government, perhaps, investing in Roma, and councillors as well. But generally, I'd love to see Italian teams being like local politicians in different cities, like in Milan or in Florence or wherever, local politicians and councillors like co-owning or investing into the football teams and the academies, and looking at the benefits football can bring, like to the health of cities or the whole nation, obviously, but individual cities as well, and the whole nation, and how it can bring people together. And maybe they could use like football clubs to cut back on crime, like young people, if they stay out of crime, could be rewarded by getting into football and things like that. Number 15, as I probably again mentioned in part one, I would love to hear from Roma fans like what they would love to see and how important they think like winning in Europe is compared to how they think winning domestically in Italy itself is. I think, as a fan of Italian football generally, I think it's important for Italian teams to do well in Europe or internationally, and also I think that I think it's about time that they do well. And I think if the country you're involved in does better, like the English teams are doing at the moment, it looks better to be in that league. Whereas if Italian teams aren't doing well in Europe or internationally, it doesn't look that great, even if you win the league, because it's like people say that league's not that good. Again, I hope that made sense. But yeah, I'd love to hear what Roma fans think, and whether they agree with me or disagree with me, what their opinions are. So if you're a Roma fan, please do comment in the comment section, or any fans or any people who want to comment, as I often say. Number 16, I'd love to have, if there was a committee, or brainstorm, or network, or think tank, cooperative, or whatever you want to call it, which comes together to discuss what's the best ways to help Roma on and off the pitch, like financially and with the charitable work it can do. I was going to mention, but I forgot to mention point number 12. Like, it would be great if they did work on mental health issues and anti-bullying, helping disabled and disadvantaged people in Rome and around the world. Again, welcoming migrants and things like that. Number 17. Again, I think it'd be great to see Roma being co-owned by many different owners, like Fortune 500 companies, even entire nations, and things like that, and being like the Galacticos of Real Madrid. But again, another thing I mentioned in part one is that with Roma's nickname being the Giallo Rossi, which I think is gold and red or something. I don't know what that means. I should probably read it up about it. But yeah, I think that I only support Italy for football, so I don't really know a huge amount about language. I know Calcio means football or whatever, but anyway, I think it'd be great to see like even entire nations investing in Roma and co-owners and co-shareholders. And as I say, point I was going to make and I nearly forgot was if they would be like the Galacticos, the Giallorossi being like the Galacticos, but only with a good goalkeeper and a good defence or a good or even better squad. So Real Madrid are often known for being really good attacking, but they're not always known or very rarely known to have a good defender. So I think it'd be great if Roma could be even stronger. So like using my imagination, I think it'd be great to see my dyslexic imagination or that. It'd be great to see Roma being like Real Madrid, but even with a good defence and a good goalkeeper, and perhaps even a good sub goalkeeper, and like having strength in depth, basically, like even good substitutes, even a good bench. So maybe even better than the Galacticos. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, the Giallorossi being an even better version of the Galacticos. But yeah, again, if it was co-owned by the Italian government and politicians, Catholic churches and groups and organisations, even the Vatican itself, perhaps, and different, even entire nations as well, especially Italy itself, I think it would be great to see that much investment or whatever money can come from wherever. But yes, that sort of thing. So moving on, and this video's gone on a bit, so I'll try and crack on. Number 18, I think it'd be great to see those positive things, and hopefully the share price and the marketing and branding will do really well to attract even more investment, and that will lead to success on the pitch. It'd be great even to see banks, Italian banks especially, or even international banks, as I say, from Africa and Asia and Latin America and all the Americas and all over the world, investing into like football academies and different sponsors and companies investing in like football academies for the youth, as well as buying better players as well. So hopefully that'll benefit the national team as well by developing more young, especially Italian players, but also young players from around the world, and hopefully giving opportunities and education and things like that to players around, to people around the world, to children around the world, and also giving them opportunities to get into football, not just Italian, but also from overseas as well, but especially Italian as well. Number 19, again, I'd love to see as many investors as possible, and again, shareholders and co-shareholders, and as much investment and funding into Italian football, including Roma, as possible. And hopefully making videos like this will hopefully raise the profile of Roma, which will hopefully in turn raise the marketing and branding. You can probably tell I'm not an expert in branding, but I'm hoping that will work. Maybe a bit naive of me. And number 20, I think it'd be great if the older players, or former players, had set up their own academies and trained players like Francesco Totti and players like that, former players, Cafu, I think, is one of them, and players like that. Also train some of the younger players, and hopefully Roma will win the Conference League this year and develop young players as well. And again, I think it'd be great if they were co-owned by the Vatican and different organisations, and maybe like Disney and different companies, especially companies that work with children, and they can invest in football academies, as I say, and hopefully they have supporters clubs around the world as well. And also, again, making games and toys and making the footballers into heroes and things like that. And as I say, as much investment as possible. And I'm sure there was an idea that I've forgotten, but I know the video has dragged on a bit, so I apologise for getting overexcited about my ideas and my imagination, my dyslexic imagination. But yeah, I appreciate it if you made it this far as well. And if you watched this whole video, please let me know in the comment section as well. So it'd be great, as ever. I'd love to hear encouragement as well. If there's bits of the video that you really liked and stuff like that resonated with you, and I'm going to probably try and remember what I was going to think of, what I was going to say, sorry, and post in the comment section below because I've forgotten it. I wish I had a better memory. That's one thing. Anyway, I am out. Peace and love.